Hello world and welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. Let's talk about all of the books that I got in 2019. If you're only here to see the books that I got and are not interested in a sort of explanation of what this is, please skip to the time code on the screen, and otherwise let's talk a little bit about what this is before we get into the actual books. First and foremost, the reason that this is the books that I got throughout the entire year instead of in a specific month or something is very simply because I don't buy a whole lot of books. Like, that is the long and short of it. The expanded explanation is, one, about 90% of my belongings are in storage currently, so I don't have a whole lot of space where I currently reside to keep books, and yet I still managed to acquire books in 2019, somehow. Don't know why I made such a big deal out of that. This explanation isn't that long. The long and the short of it is I just don't buy a whole lot of books. This is not just books that I bought, this is also books that I received as gifts. But I think we can just get into the books that I got in 2019. Starting this with the nonfiction. Alright, first off, we have Parenting Beyond Pink and Blue by Christia Spears Brown, PhD. This is a guide to raising children gender neutral, which is how my spouse and I are raising our toddler. This is one that came up a lot in our research about raising a child gender neutral. I've read a couple of snippets in it, but I have not read the whole thing, in large part because I struggle significantly with reading nonfiction. I don't fully understand why, but I do. That said, I'm very interested in the contents of this book, and hopefully I will work up the momentum to actually read it in 2020. Wish me luck. Next up is Just Moms, Conveying Justice in an Unjust World, which is a Christmas gift that I got from my sister-in-law. This is a very short collection of stories from 27 women and their experience of raising children to be good humans in a world that is on fire, somewhat literally at the moment. I have never heard of this. I know basically nothing about it except sort of an idea of the contents. I'm very interested in the general idea, although I will say the one nitpicky thing about this that I feel is like slight annoyance at the gendering. I feel like raising children to be good humans and socially aware is a parent thing, not a mom thing, but I'm hopeful that the actual contents will not be sort of gender oriented. Alright, next up I have two graphic novels that I purchased from a small press event in 2019. I mentioned these and showed these in my wrap up of everything that I read in 2019, but I want to show them again because they're beautiful and wonderful and, you know, support small artists. These are by Vera Green Tea. They are about woodland creatures that live in an abandoned house. Is this gonna signal structural collapse of my tower? Probably. Okay, and then at a jaunt to a thrift store, I found this copy of Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, which is the first book in the Grisha verse trilogy thing. Yeah. I've read Six of Crows, and I have on my list to read Crooked Kingdom, but I am just generally really in love with Leigh Bardugo's writing style, and I was interested in diving further into this universe, so it was $3, and I figured that that was a really great excuse to bump this up on my reading list. Alright, and now we're entering sort of an odd place in these books. There's gonna be some explanation here, just bear with me, okay? In 2019, a friend and I were going to a book event where there were gonna be a bunch of authors and they were gonna do signings, and because a large portion of my belongings are in storage, I needed to acquire books. But anyway, Holly Black was gonna be there, so I bought myself a beautiful copy of Coldest Girl in Cold Town, which is one of my favorite Holly Black books. This is my favorite book about vampires, just in general. And then we didn't even make it to Holly Black's signing, so now I just own this and it's not signed, but I don't really care. But that same friend of mine shares a lot of reading tastes with me. So the agreement that we came to was that they would give me a couple copies of books that they had that I wanted to own, and then I would buy replacements for them at some point in the future. The first of those is Beneath the Sugar Sky by Sean McGuire. This is the third book in the Wayward Children's series. This is my favorite installment in the Wayward Children's series. So I was able to get this signed. I love it so much. Alright, and now the book that I bought a second copy of, even though I already had a copy, but I bought a second one because it was in storage so I could get it signed, and that is Landline by Rainbow Rowell. Reminder, Rainbow Rowell is trash. So now I have 2 copies of this book. Yep, that's a mistake that I made in my life. I'm not even gonna turn that so it's facing the camera. It's just gonna sit like that and just face the wall. Alright, and last of the books that are relating to that event from last year is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. This is, I have a lot of feelings about this duology, okay? Alright, and in case my grammar slipped in that last one, I did also get Our Dark Duet. This was a Christmas present that I received from a different friend. Not even that I think they're so good. Like, I think they're good, you know, but they're not like the best things ever. But I just am like so emotional about them. Alright, and continuing with the Christmas presents I received, I got this lovely copy of The Three Body Problem by, what is it? Cixin Liu? Is that how pronounced? Maybe? I apologize. I know virtually nothing about this other than it is highly critically acclaimed hard science fiction, but that's enough for me. Alright, I also have this beautiful, sexy, lovely copy of Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. This was also a Christmas present from the same friend that I share a lot of reading tastes with. I am going to read this just as soon as I can. I've already started. I'm like 1 page into it with my little Nessie bookmark. And it has the sprayed edges. I just... Here, we're gonna do so. Oh, that was a terrible idea. Balancing. And there we go. I'm also gonna show this one because I got it in 2020, but it was part of a Christmas gift from 2019. So that still counts, and that is Into the Drowning Deep by Shauna Maguire. Well, it's by Mira Grant, but that's Shauna Maguire. We're gonna talk about this at some point. I don't know when that's gonna be. I love this book so much. And I did receive a couple of digital books for Christmas, the first of which was Rolling in the Deep, which is the prequel to Into the Drowning Deep. And lastly, as part of the same Christmas gift was, oh, what is the book called? In the Shadow of Spindrift House, which is, I don't remember. It's described as like a Scooby-Doo story. Oh god, and I also almost forgot the digital book that I bought myself this year, which is Gossip Girl Psycho Killer by Cecily von Zyko. That was predictable. Okay, I'm just gonna let the books sit down here and not worry about it. Oh god, and I also almost forgot the other one, but I forgot it for a good reason. That is because it is in storage, because I bought it before I had to move and put all of my stuff in storage, and that is The Wicked King by Holly Black. I was going to a different book-related event where Holly Black was going to be speaking and signing books, and in order to gain entry, you had to purchase the book. So I did. It was totally worth it, and it's signed and living in my storage unit. And that's it. I really didn't think that that was gonna collapse. Like, I knew it was unsteady, but not that badly. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed these books. I think that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.